Okay, so we're going to set up ComfyUI on RunPod, download a simple image generation checkpoint, and see it running. Okay, so I've logged on to my RunPod. If you don't have a RunPod account, then use my link. You'll find that in the description. Using my link just helps me a little bit more to continue creating advanced ComfyUI tutorials. Anyway, so even pass that to your friends. Okay, you will need money in your account before you can start. I've already got a little bit. So billing, you can add $10 or more. That's US dollars. Note that it's going to cost you probably about $1.50 a day to have your pod on RunPod, but it's still much cheaper than actually buying an advanced GPU. So you pay with a card and you can choose one that you've already set up, or you can pay in local currency, or even use a coupon if you're lucky enough. If I get coupons, I'll put them in the description. Anyway, so I've already done that. Okay, once you've got some balance, go to pod templates. Now just type in Comfy in the search so you get more specific results. Now I'm actually going to test this using a RTX5090 GPU, so the best one to use is that one there. If you used that one at the time of making this video, it won't start up because that is using CUDA 2.4, which is quite old. This one here is using a CUDA 2.8, but of course this information is likely to change over time, but right now at the time of making this video, that's the one I'm using. Okay, now time to configure the pod. I'm going to select an RTX 5090, quite a few to choose from, various different prices. That one there. If I go down, okay, so it's all good. On demand, so that's how much it's going to cost per hour while I'm using it. I'm only going to have SSH terminal access selected here. I'm not going to use Jupyter. So that's what it's going to cost per hour while I'm using the GPU. The running pod is going to cost that much, and just having it stopped, it's still going to cost that. Also, there's the cost of storage, 200 gigabytes. That's going to cost about $40 a month. Still cheaper than buying an advanced graphics card. If you want to only try this out, there we go. Just be aware of that. It is going to cost money. So that's why I say it's going to cost about $1.50 a day to have a pod sitting on your RunPod account. Anyway, deploy on demand. So that is setting up. It can take quite a few minutes. There is some information here. It's saying ready already, which is quite amazing. If I go to that now and try it out, no, I was expecting that. It's still going to take some time to set up. So just close that. If you go to logs, we can see there is a system logs and container logs. We can watch the setup process. Okay, so it's installing various dependencies and just going through that. It's going to take quite a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes to fully set up. We'll see. Okay, so it looks like it's about to start up. Here's some good information if you ever want to problem solve. Here it says PyTorch version 291 CU128. Also says that's my device. So that's useful information to help problem solve if you are having any problems. So right now it's looking pretty good. I'm expecting this all to work because a 5090 works with CU128. Okay, to see the GUI, go to that address. So that took roughly about 5 minutes. Okay, so back to connect there. This link to open up ComfyUI should work now. So click that. Looking good so far. Okay, there we go. We have ComfyUI and it's running on RunPod. So that's on the internet. Okay, so close that templates page. Here, we're going to run a simple workflow. On my ComfyUI documentation website there's a link in the description. We can drag this image there into ComfyUI. Okay, that is a basic Stable Diffusion 1.5 workflow, and it's very good just to check that things are working. Okay, it has one checkpoint, and we haven't installed this yet. This is Stable Diffusion 1.5, and this can run on most computers, especially this one. If I was to run that, there would be an issue. So run. Okay, so I can't find the checkpoint. So we need to download that checkpoint to our pod. Now, further down my documentation, I've got this menu item here, download SD1.5 using wget. Basically, we're going to log on to the terminal prompt on our pod and run that command. And that's going to download that file there that we're trying to run in our workflow. So that's it just there, version 1.5 pruned. We're going to download that into the correct folder from Hugging Face using that command. So down here, there is this enable web terminal. So let's select that. Okay, now that will give you an option up there, and you can also open it that way down there into its own browser window. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to press Control plus a few times to make the font larger. Okay, so it's a unique address, unique to you. Okay, so ls to look at the directory. We're going into ComfyUI, so cd ComfyUI. Okay, next we want to go to a folder called models. So cd models. and then CD checkpoints like that. If I do ls, there's nothing in there. It says put checkpoints here. Okay, so this command wget here under this heading, copy that to the clipboard using that icon. Now back in the terminal, if I do shift control and V, that pastes from my own computer's clipboard into the terminal's clipboard. If I press enter, it's going to download that file. It's going to take some time, as you can see. We're 10% of the way. Okay, that's done. If I just type clear to clear the screen. Now if I do ls lha, we can see that that model now exists in that folder, and that's the correct place. ComfyUI models checkpoints. Now back in my RunPod instance of ComfyUI, if I press run, it's now loading it into memory. The first time can take some time because it has to upload all of that into the GPU. So we're actually using the GPU now. There is a terminal prompt here that you can also watch the progress. It's not saying much though. Okay, it's continuing, it's generating. Okay, and there's our image. Very good. So that all worked because I put this model here into the correct folder, ComfyUI models checkpoints, and that's the model that is selected there. There are hundreds of models. But anyway, looking at my pod information, that's the URL to open up ComfyUI. We also get a file browser if you want to try that out. It's quite easy to use. The username and password for that is here in the template README. So there it is, admin and admin12 password. That information may change. Okay, so it's a file system where you can double click, go through. So let's go to models and then checkpoints. That's where I am. That's the file that I just uploaded using wget. I could have also used that option there and uploaded it from my own computer and then just wait for that to finish. Okay, so anyway, I don't really need that. Back here, very good. We can see that all works, but note that this is now costing you money. If you set this up, you can stop it. But just note that you will still be paying for it. It says that that's just to keep the instance, but then you've got also the storage cost of the SSD that you also needed to set up. It's actually cost me about $1.40 a day. So you can stop that if you like, and then you'll be able to come back to it sometime and start it again. And then if you press terminate, you completely remove it from RunPod and you don't have to pay for it anymore. So I'm just going to do that. Terminate pod. So anyway, that was a working RunPod. This is no longer connected, it says reconnecting. So I might as well just close it down. Okay, so if I look at my home, I can see after some point, it will tell me how much I was spending, and actually hasn't updated yet. But I've already spent 70 cents and I haven't really done much. Okay, so anyway, if you're interested in RunPod, use my link. That link will be in the description. All the important links will be in the description. Also, if you want to support my channel, consider either taking my course on Udemy, or you can also get it on YouTube memberships. Okay, that's the playlist. A lot of these videos are members only. To become a member, there's a link there where you can join the channel, and you'll get access to about 650 videos on many topics, not only just ComfyUI, and you can see the thumbnails there on those topics. Okay, so remember, your support is much appreciated, whether you become a member, you take my course on Udemy, or use my RunPod link, or even buy a ComfyUI book, and this one here. Use those links because they will help to support me as well. And if you do have a ComfyUI book yourself, let me know and I'll add it to my website. Anyway, excellent. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and consider becoming a member. Excellent.